We're talking Monte Creek for the Thompson Valley near Kamloops. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's Wine Wednesday.
It sure is Wine Wednesday. Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher, everyone across the country. Welcome, welcome. It's Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Winnipeg, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And welcome. I mean, we have five beautiful glasses of wine in front of us. It sure is. 5, a rosé, a white, and 3 reds. And we're going to talk about...
time, baby.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. It's Fun Wine Wednesday. There's a lot to chat about. And we're back home.
Yeah, we were in La Belle Provence. Why don't you tell us something a little in French, Carl? Because we were talking French for the last 2 weeks, weren't we?
I know, hey, I know. So, un beau bonjour à tout le monde, à tous nos amateurs de vin francophones à travers le pays, à travers la belle province. On vous souhaite un beau bonjour. C'est Wine Wednesday. Aujourd'hui, on va parler de Monte Creek, qui est un petit vignoble de la Thompson Valley, qui est au sud de la Colombie-Britannique, dans la région de Kamloops, un des 3 vignobles de la région de Kamloops qui font des vins absolument sensationnels et qui viennent de ramasser des médailles très, très importantes au concours de vin national canadien au Wine Line. So, un beau bonjour, ça fait plaisir de vous voir, ça fait plaisir de parler en français, ça fait plaisir de goûter du vin avec vous autres, à tous nos amateurs de vin francophones. There you go, Mira. How was that?
Very French, very nice.
Yeah, you're creating a little bit of French.
Yeah, I'm just bringing our Instagram crew on the live with us.
Bring the Instagram. So, good evening to all the Instagram listener. Good evening to all of the YouTube listener. Obviously, our Facebook crew, on Carl's Wine Club members, VIP, on Carl's Wine Club, on Carl Boucher, on Mira Boucher, everywhere across the platform, and LinkedIn as well. So, I mean, we're back at it. We're back home, and now we're gonna settle back into a routine where we don't have to find a spot somewhere along the way where we're traveling. So we're right here in our stuff and back into our studio. I mean, we're done with the 40-something degrees. We had a little bit of a more temperate day today, just around the 30. Couple swims gonna happen tonight, and we're gonna be done for the swimming in the lake for the next couple days. We're gonna be more into the low 20th for 2 to 3 days, and after that, let's get back at it because the weather climbing back up for the weekend and all that. So yeah, in terms of wine, I mean, it hasn't stopped. We haven't stopped tasting wine. We haven't stopped tasting new things. And this week, we are talking Monte Creek. And it's the second time that we feature Monte Creek Winery out of Kamloops, British Columbia. So we're not in the Okanagan with Monte Creek. We are, let's say, 3 hours outside of the Okanagan Valley. And Monte Creek, it's the rock star winery of Kamloops. I mean, there's not a ton. There's 3, but there used to be 4. But Harper's Trail have folded for some reason. But Monte Creek is the crown jewel of the Thompson Valley. Really interesting terroir down there. A little bit of a mix like the Similkameen Valley, the South Okanagan, a little bit of a desertic climate, I would say, where it's desert-like. And yeah, very hot days out there, cooler, much cooler night, where, like, I mean, you can see some of the Vitis vinifera growing in that region. There's no doubt that Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Riesling, Cap Franc are growing very, very, very well in that area. Maybe a little bit of Merlot as well. But they have three vineyards at Monte Creek. And one of the things that makes the Thompson Valley unique is the soil. It's very similar basically everywhere in the valley, in that valley. So it's not like the Okanagan where the glacier went down and like ripped everything off and left multiple, like many, many, many spots of different deposits. So the soil are very, very different here in the Okanagan. But in the Thompson Valley, the soil are fairly identical. So it's one of the characteristics of the terroir there. So you'll find the wines with more unique, with more balanced profile. And what I like from there, it's the very, very cold night. So it brings bright acidity to the wines, but also ripe fruits, and you've seen that in their red. There's absolutely no doubt when you taste the Pinot Noir that the Pinots are fairly ripe. Their Cab Merlots are fairly ripe. So what I was saying about they have three different vineyards from Monte Creek, two of them in the Thompson Valley, just around Kamloops, one on each side of the Thompson River. Where mostly of their Pinot Noir, of their Chardonnays, Riesling, actually, it's a very, very, it's a grape who grows very well in the Thompson River Valley as well. So you have that, but they also have a 40 acres vineyard near Carmios in the Similkameen. So their wines are often a blend of the Thompson Valley and the Similkameen Valley. So that makes a lot of sense because these two terroirs are fairly similar. And by having the Similkameen Valley into their portfolio, that allows to bring the ripe Merlot and the ripe Cabernet Sauvignon to come and to round up their profile of their portfolio. So very interesting. And I would say the most impressive attribute of the Monte Creek portfolio, I think it's the price point, because they make some outstanding wines. But not, like, all of their wines are under $30. All of their wines between $21 and $29. Obviously, plus tax, but like everything else that you buy anywhere, there's tax on top of it. So
unless you live in Ontario. Yeah.
But yeah, so between $21 and $21, their wines are absolutely fantastic. And they've been winning awards left, right, and centers. Not only this year, last year, but starting, I think, in 2016, this winery has been collecting awards all over the place, not only nationally, but also internationally. The Los Angeles Wine Festival, they won a lot. Also at Cascadia, they won a lot of awards. High score at the Decanter World, high score at the International Wine and Spirit Competition, silver medal at Chardonnay du Monde. I mean, they won countless. And when we talk about here at nationally, it's one of the favorites of the All Canadian. I don't know why, but at the All Canadian, they won every year so many different awards. And that's the reason why we featured the Frontenac Gris this year, because they just won double gold, best of show for any hybrid grape in the country. So I thought that was very, very, very intriguing to put this very wine in the lineup this year. Why? because why not? Hybrid wines are not something, I mean, that's undrinkable or are bad. I mean, there's some absolutely fantastic hybrid wines out there, and this is one of the living proof of it. Mira, I don't have my glasses with me, so if you can you read my tasting notes on the Frontenac Gris that I've done about it? And I think this wine was really freaking fantastic. 91 points, Carl's Wine Club. I think I've never rated a pure hybrid that high. And yeah, when I know it, and double gold at the All Canadian. So Mira, floor is yours.
Like personally, I'm always a bit cautious. Fruit wine or hybrids, I'm like, I don't know exactly what we're gonna get here. Very pleasantly surprised with this. Very, very much so. Okay, so you were saying you want me to look at your notes. One sec. I just put them in the comments. So if anyone else wants to take a peek at the notes, also the same place you can go to order this week. So the Frontenac Gris, 91 points, double gold at the All Canadians. Okay. This wine is what would happen if a Viognier met a Pinot Gris. We rarely feature hybrid grapes, but this one is more than worth it. The Monte Creek Frontenac Gris has been on my radar for a couple of years already, and the 23 vintage is absolutely spectacular. Fruity, exotic, creamy, stunningly well-balanced. This wine deserves a spotlight. On the nose, a great blend of aromas highlighting floral notes of jasmine and violet and tropical scents like pineapple, mandarin, mango, and honey. The palate is surprisingly fresh, and this is the main reason I rated it as high as I did. I know you love that freshness. I think, Carl, you love freshness in the wine. You love that spicy finish sometimes that we get. What else do you love? There's certain things that really...
To me, crispness and freshness means that the wine is well made. I need a wine without freshness, especially on the white or the rosé side. I mean, it's missing a very key critical element. And so I look forward. For young wine, it's a must. I mean, if you put a wine in a bottle, which is a new release, has to have crisp freshness, to me, to my opinion. And when it ages and when it remains fresh, well, that's mean there's a good aging potential. So yes, this is a very key element. And I was happy to see that that hybrid with a bright acidity. So yeah, this is not the white in your glass. The white you have.
This is a Chardonnay, isn't it?
That's the 2018. That's the 2018 the Dean's List, because I wanted to talk about the fun shipment we received from the Niagara College in Niagara. So we will talk about it a little later on, but. I thought it was just fun. We tasted that a couple nights ago, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit.
Nice. Mike's saying, I think your endorsement of this hybrid wine is a good vote of confidence that folks should take to heart and change the perspective many wine drinkers have about these type of wines. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hybrid wines that have a long way to go, but we need to stay open to this idea, because more and more, I think we're going to see, especially in areas that are prone to really cold winters, there might be more hybrids coming along. And we were just in Quebec, and we had a hard time finding any Vitis vinifera in Quebec, which kind of put us off. But then, you know what? We found a few. And so we shipped back a Chardonnay from Quebec as well as a hybrid.
Vidal, yeah, we have a Vidal coming our way. I was hoping to have it for tonight, but unfortunately the box didn't arrive today. So
we didn't go with fast shipping. We figured on the way back we don't need the fast shipping, so it didn't get here quite in time.
Forgetting that I have a couple critical pieces in that box. One is the Quebec wine. Second is my son's controller. That I've been reminded every single day that the box should be arriving as fast as possible. And the baseball gloves. Darn it. I mean.
But I mean, Mike has a great point, and he actually encouraged us when we went to Quebec to try some of the hybrids there, because, I mean, if they have been making hybrid wine for 20, 30 years now in Quebec, I bet some of those wineries have figured out how to do it really, really well.
Mira, you're bang on, and Mike, you are bang on. And I think there's one part of that comment here is like it's the perspective of people, and people to have the open mind of not classify or not putting hybrid grape in the box right out of the gate and say, "Oh, that's not wines," or "That's not. I don't drink that." I mean, Suan makes a freaking fantastic Baco Noir. What's the name of the Henry of Pelham that been successfully known for their Baco as well. I mean, Marshall Foch, let's not forget that Quailsgate Winery, one of the most successful and mostly known winery in British Columbia, were known for their Maréchal Foch for a very long time, and they're still it's one of their key SKU. So let's not put all hybrid grapes in a box and pretending that it's not real wine. I mean, it will be tricky for a winery to base their portfolio on hybrid, especially in Niagara and in the Okanagan. But having a few SKUs here and there in your portfolio, to my opinion, there's nothing wrong. And I want to stay open mind. I want to keep my mind open to new thing. And yeah, you're right, Mike. Summerhill's Foch as well is really, really good. Absolutely. And this Frontenac Gris was just a reminder for me that, God's sake, Carl, and sometimes I'm guilty of it as well. Starting to taste a wine with okay, I'm tasting an hybrid. Or no, sometimes there's so many great pleasure, and this is as good as any. This Frontenac Gris is as enjoyable as any vinifera that I had in the last,
especially at $22.
Exactly.
Okay, so back to your tasting notes. You say tropical flavors of grilled pineapple, passion fruit, peach, and canned pear, while a spark of candied citrus appears on the back end to close up the experience appropriately. Very nice discovery, and at this price, I suggest buying it by the case. But this is what I like about your tasting notes with your food pairings, Carl. You said chicken Caesar salad or prosciutto wrapped cantaloupe. Yeah. And that would totally be fantastic. And I'm looking at the big, beautiful, sunny scene out on our patio right now, and that is what I want. Prosciutto wrapped cantaloupe, a big Caesar salad, and that Frontenac Gris from Monte Creek. Spectacular. What a summer meal, right?
I mean, at $22? Yes, please. This is absolutely fantastic. And you look at that, okay? So when you taste Monte Creek, you have that gold medal 2020 Chardonnay, which is real classic, super well-balanced Chardonnay, not super oaky, but great round texture, beautiful flavors, ripe. I mean, this Chardonnay is freaking world-class. I've been talking about that 2020 Chardonnay for over a year now. It's sold out at the winery. There's only Carl's Wine Club members that has access to a little inventory. But
and this 2019 was the previous year's standout value Chardonnay, wasn't it? So it's been a couple of years now.
Yeah. So what's fun with the 19 was that the Ancient Water 19. So the little two barrels of the top line, won platinum best of show at the All Canadian. So and this one is long gone. There was so little produced in 2019 but what we have is the last 24 bottles of the regular 20, which is made from the same fruit, just the other barrels who didn't make it to the very top ones, one of the best Chardonnay of 2019. And let's remember, 2019 was an outstanding vintage for Chardonnay across the country, especially in Ontario. And that for that wine to win such an incredible award among all of the Ontario Chardonnay, it's something. I read something in one line this year, a couple days ago, when they released their new the new scores for this year Wine Align National for the Chardonnay. Well, the 2022 Monte Creek that is not released yet won gold again. And they were saying that there's a few wineries across the country at Wine Line that year in and year out are always in the medal, in the top medals. And they were mentioning Hidden Bench. They were mentioning Malivoire. They were mentioning Quail's Gate. They were mentioning all of the top producer. And they include in the article Monte Creek. So it's funny how that little producer of Kamloops always, especially in terms of Chardonnay, that they make it every year right at the top with some of the top producer in Canada. And
at like half or more of the price.
That's the point, Mira. That's the point, Mira.
I remember when we first discovered it. Okay, not this Chardonnay marathon back in May where you tasted 112 Chardonnays live, but the one last year when we did like, I don't know, 60 or so, and we thought that was kind of crazy. So I remember at that one, when we first discovered this Monte Creek Living Waters Chardonnay, it's called?
Living Land,
Ancient Waters, Living Land Chardonnay. So the 2019, we were all stunned. We're like, how can this wine at around $20 a bottle, $22 a bottle, compete with these other wines? Like, not necessarily compete, but like you would taste it side by side with like a $50 bottle, and you wouldn't be shockingly like ready.
It's not a different world. It's not a different like they can play in the same league. They can play on the same line on the ice at the same time and play together.
Like usually, like first of all, there are very few Chardonnays under $30 anymore, right?
I mean,
and second of all, to find one that doesn't stick out as like, oh, this is clearly the, it's enjoyable, but it's clearly the lower price point. It didn't. Like, it could have played way above its price point. So very exciting.
And when you find one, usually closer to 30 than it is to 25, because this one with tax is at 25, including tax.
Yeah, with tax.
And it's usually, you'll find that it's an oak Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Not that on oak Chardonnay are not as good, but cost way less to produce, right? Less time to produce, no time in barrel, no oak cost, no nothing like that. So much more affordable to produce. So when you find something closer to 25 or under 25, which you barely find anywhere, that's on oak side. No, I mean that Monte Creek, the Living Land, is oaked for 9 months. I mean, it's oak, but it's also concrete. 25% was fermented and aged in concrete.
Yeah.
So there's a tremendous profile, precision, but also roundness and softness. I mean, I sometimes I run out of descriptive to talk about that wine. I feel I did it so much. But now the thing is, and the crazy thing is now it's sold out. Now, I mean, it's gone. You won't find it anymore, but we have some here for us. And while we're doing the feature, the National Wine Line results are coming out. And guess what? Oh yeah, obviously, Monte Creek just won gold again with the new 2022. And I think, well, Daryl reached out and said, Carl, can we get some 22 as well? I reached out to the winery. The winery said, you know what? It's not released yet, but we'll give some to your member if any of your member want some. So now,
that's a secret thing. At the checkout, you can still get it. You can get the 2022 or the 2020.
Yeah, exactly. 2019, 2020, and 2022. I mean, this is pretty cool, and all of these wines.
Oh, I didn't even realize 2019 is available too.
2019 is part of the feature in bonus options.
Oh, but that's the ranch one. It's not the Living Land.
It's the previous packaging.
Yeah, packaging, and it's
So
not
it's
living
the same
land.
thing. That was the living land because the ancient water existed, but not the living. So this is the original living land. Let's put it that way.
Oh, but with tax, it's 34.
Well, yes, because it's a library. Like there's none of this. Like it's only a library, and this one was Anyway.
Okay. All right. So that's the 2019. That's what it looks like, and then the 2020 and 2021 look more like
2022.
Or 2022. 2020 and 2022 look like this.
Not in a hog bottle, but in a Chardonnay bottle.
Yeah, I gotta get that proper. This one. They look like this.
How about we do that live here? So this is here versus this.
Yeah. So those new ones, the kind of pink label with the thumbprint logo, that's their new branding. So those ones are the ones that are these exceptional values in terms of $22 plus tax. So it comes to $25 with tax.
Yeah.
Pretty spectacular.
Absolutely. So while we're talking about Monte Creek, let's keep going because okay, so we have the 3 Chardonnays, right? We have the Frontenac Gris. We have the Marquette Rosé in the pack as well, which was one of the surprise of my Rosé marathon. I mean, it did 90 plus. Again, I have this was the only rosés out of 92 who had hybrid, who was 100% hybrid and rated in the 60th percentile. Like this wine as a 90 plus showed much better than I was expected. And again, crisp, clean, cherry, but also a little bit of cranberry and rhubarb. So this round fruit, but also a nice clamp of acidity. So I mean, very, very, very enjoyable. So that Marquette really got my attention in a sense because, like Mike says, if you go and taste an hybrid, you need to do it with open mind. And this was like, holy crap! This is belong among some of the top rosés. Mira, what you have in your glass, it's not the Marquette.
No.
It's a 3-week-old.
Oh, it tastes great, by the way. I was like, if this is the Marquette,
it tastes fucking fantastic. I couldn't believe it. This is the Pinot Noir Rosé, the Tantalus Pinot Noir Rosé.
Wow.
Yeah, this was my 92 points
really
in the Rosé Marathon. 3 weeks later. 3 darn weeks. How crazy is that? I just filled my glass again because I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe that.
Yeah, those of you who ordered the Rosé mystery packs might be getting a taste of that one.
But you did it. You did it. I was just about to see, should we give a little hint of the mystery pack? Yeah, I think we would. Yeah. You know what?
It's right up there as one of our very favorites. So we hope you like it too if you got the Rosé mystery pack. And if you
haven't ordered it, I think there's one left.
No, there's 3 or 4 left, I think.
Okay.
There's some people locally that might want those though. So it's first come, first serve.
Not so much of a mystery. I get it, Mike, but shipping soon. Yes, the Bellaterra should be, well, darn it. The Ontario wine's arriving soon. So yes, it's shipping very, very soon, Mike. Okay, let's get back to Monte Creek here because we did the Rosé, the Frontenac, the Chards, and let's get on the red. The red, while we were releasing the offer to our members on Monday, the Pinot Noir awards at the National Wine Alliance was coming out on Monday. And on Monday, it was announced that, one second here. That the 2022 Monte Creek Pinot Noir won gold. And yeah, so I mean,
you had given it 92 plus points. They give it 93 points. So it's always
They
nice.
give it 93. One of the highest scored Pinot Noir of this year Wine Line competition. So Dale here is, I think he's in smoky Calgary right now, but Dale was mentioning Spearhead. I mean, Spearhead won platinum and 2 golds as well. So Monte Creek is not that powerhouse Pinot Noir like Spearhead is. Spearhead is known across the country to be one of the very, very, very top. I didn't know that Spearhead can produce such a solid. So when I tasted it prior to Monday, I rated that 92 plus points, and I was like, wow, this is freaking impressive. And Monday morning came, boom, Wine Line comes out, and they gave it 93 points. So, and gold medal. So it's right in the middle of 3 other labels of Spearhead. If we have some Pinot Noir lovers listening, get your hands on that. I think there's only 400 cases made. It's going to go fast. Okay. But that Pinot Noir from the Thompson Valley is worth a try. I'm telling you one thing.
So Thompson River Valley, right? I have to say, I believe this is the newest appellation to be approved in BC. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard. And,
I mean, that was Thompson Valley. It was the Kootenays and the Shuswaps. There's 3 appellation got their VQA appellation. I would say
nowadays, Summerland has gotten 3 new sub-appellations.
Yeah, but these are sub, right? So these are not regional. Like these ones, the Kootenays, the Shuswaps, and the Thompson Valley are on the bigger scale.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see like there, you can see the, on this little map, that light green next to the dark green, that's the Okanagan. And then all around that is emerging regions, also known as Thompson River Valley and the Kootenays. So yeah, it's quite a bit north of what we're used to with the Okanagan here. And we thought, oh, there's quite a few wineries up there. But like you said, there's only a few.
There's only 3. There's only 3 with 95 acres of grapes planted, and on the 95, I believe that 60 is by Monte Creek. Brand new building. I think they rebuilt in
Really
2017, I believe. Gravity flow building, something really, really top notch. The winemaking team has been the same since like the 2016 vintage. I mean, consistency has been the key at Monte Creek. They changed their packaging. That's it. And now there's 2 levels. There's the Living Land series and the Ancient Water series, which Ancient Water is their high end, or they're a little bit more expensive. We have Ancient Water Riesling in the bonus option, which I give 91 plus points. It always reminded me a Niagara Escarpment Riesling. It's a little bit that flinty, a little bit of petrol, that's that lime, but also a little roundness of residual sugar. I mean, this is a really serious Riesling. It was fantastic. I would be curious to put that in a lineup side by side with the Roberts Block to see where it stands. Maybe not at the level of Roberts Block, but definitely not in a different world than the Roberts Block. And when you look at this versus the Living Land Riesling, which I think it's a 90 plus points. I mean, this is soft, this is approachable, this is summer-like, really easy drinking, less residual sugar, bright acid. This is more, if we've been following what we're doing with Sue-Ann staff for a while, it's a little bit more like the Love by Lou that Suan makes. It's $21, well priced, super approachable. So these two Rieslings are both available in the bonus options. And also to round up the reds portfolio, there's a Pinot Noir, 92 plus point, absolutely killer, but also the Cab Merlot and the Cab Franc. So these two reds are the Cab Merlot. It's an outstanding value, $26. I mean, this is a everyday style drinking Pinot Noir, perfect for the barbecue. I just love how like the tannins are there. It shows like a big Okanagan Reds almost, with this like it's a little bit more of that profile, and yeah, like I mean, extremely well priced. So
and
yeah,
I don't know the vineyards, but you mentioned like they do have a vineyard, I think quite a large vineyard, like 40 acres down in the Similkameen, right?
that's what I said at the beginning. Yeah, when you were, I explained the whole thing, and I can say it again. So they have 3 vineyards in their holding, 2 outside of Kamloops, one of each on each side of the Thompson River, and they have one in the Similkameen Valley. In terms of terroir, Similkameen and Kamloops are fairly similar in terms of pretty dry, rugged, and cold night. So that really tagged these two regions together. Because if you leave the Okanagan, you drove across the Similkameen, and you can hit Kamloops that way. So these two regions are not that far apart, but stylistically and terroir-like are fairly close. So there's just a little bit more degree days in the Similkameen, where you have more ripening potential for the Merlot, the Cab Sauv, the Syrahs, and all that. So yeah, here's our stunning lineup. All of our wines, the 9 wines in that lineup, all 90 plus points or better, between 90 plus to 92 plus. So an outstanding, all under $30, except the 2019 Chardonnay, which you cannot find anywhere. There's none of these wines. There was 2 cases left. There's only 24 bottles available. So, but again, for rare wines, which won big awards, $34. I mean, it's we've seen more expensive than that in the past.
Yeah, no, pretty fantastic. But so Dale is considering getting some of these wines. Good idea, Dale. I was saying, seller insurance in the sense that they're fantastic wines to open. I wouldn't have a problem opening any of these wines, especially the Chardonnay, the Living Land Chardonnay, with any of our guests, precisely because of the story behind it. You can talk about how great of a value is.
You know what I would like to do? I would like to order more Frontenac for us and blind taste the shit out of all of our guests coming in at home with the Frontenac.
Yeah, they will never.
That's what I would like to know. I would like to do, because all of these guests we often have winemakers coming to our place, right? Wine Geek and all that. I would like to play that game with them many times and see how many people I can squeeze a little. Huh? Are you kidding me? Frontenac? Oh yeah. So yeah, that's
really fun. And I do think though that Dale must like the New York Yankees or something, because he says Carl's hat has to go. We got a little sports rival here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little faded, but this hat has been purchased at Fenway Park, and this hat is not going anywhere. I mean, if Chardonnay's listening, I have another really big Red Sox fan across the country in Quebec, our member Jean-Denis Valliere. I'm a big baseball guy. I coached baseball. I'm a big Red Sox guy, and no, this hat that Dale is not going anywhere. I have many others of the Red Sox. I have a couple Reds, couple Reds and black. No, it's not going anywhere. Just saying, we got clobbered pretty bad today against Colorado, 20-3. 6 or something like that. Aye. But hey, it's baseball. It happened. But yeah,
Well, hey,
Yankees fan. Oh no, maybe Dale is purely. He's an Ontario guy, so probably Dale is a Blue Jays fan, and probably a very frustrated Blue Jays fan because they surely have a very frustrated season, and they're sitting in the basement of the East Division of the American Baseball League. So yeah.
he says at least it's not a Bruins hat. Okay.
Oh, so now he is definitely a Toronto guy. So that's a Maple Leafs and the Blue Jays guy. So Dale, I feel for you. I totally feel for you.
Yeah. Hey, Carl Boucher.
Yes.
We talked about what's in this glass.
Yes.
This glass, what's in there?
Because next week we're doing a Syrah focus feature next week. So I thought that when you came back from picking up one of our kids, you bought a flank steak. So I said it might be time to start to do our tasting notes for next week's feature. And we have
that is very delicious Syrah.
A 2020 Syrah. This is Kronos Syrah. Next week, we're featuring Time Winery. We're going to have a Syrah Rosé.
We've given away so many secrets.
Why? Well, since when I'm holding back what we're featuring next week? We're featuring a bunch of different Syrahs next week. Okay, a bunch of this. So that's one of them.
So how many are there?
So we have
2 boxes of time wines to get through in the next day.
Yeah, so we have Syrah Rosé. We have a Syrah 2018 from Times. We have Syrah 2020 from Kronos. We have Syrah Cabernet blend from Kronos. We have Magnums of Syrahs 2014 from Times. So yeah, so that's 5 different Syrahs.
Oh,
and this, right?
Oh, I thought we had a Time Magnum around here, but we drank it, didn't we? Yeah, that was last summer. We drank it. That was in 2014. It was very nice.
That's the one we're featuring. This one is the 3 liters, but that's the 2014. That's the one we had. That's the one we're featuring. There's
Right.
18. There's 18 Magnums available of the 2014. And I think it's $135 for the Magnum. So really, really cool price.
When did we taste that 14? Was it last summer?
That was last summer after our the Rosé Vertical that we did with Daniel Bonterin.
Oh, the Rosé Vertical. Yes, I remember.
And that's when we cracked.
With their pulled pork.
Yeah, we had that. We also opened the 2009 Red Icon Painted Rock. And because we had so many people at home, we opened that big bad boy. It was a 3 liter. But yeah, so we have 5 different Syrahs on the lineup next week. So it's really freaking exciting. 5 Syrahs, and there's going to be a Semillon, 100% Semillon, and a Riesling as well. So just because it's summer and I wanted to put 2 whites in there. So 5 Syrahs, 1 Semillon, 1 Riesling. So that's the first one. So here's the first sip here. I haven't tasted it yet. So it's bold, it's dark, it's inky, it's coffee, like lots of coffee, blueberry sauce. The oak, it's still Like this is gonna age for another. Like this is just starting to get going. Absolutely, just starting. Uh, Long spicy finish. Tobacco is really chewy, like the chewy tobacco leaves. Uh, um, the tobacco pipe. So this is very serious. I want a piece of meat with that. So I can't wait to see the difference between the 2018 and this. This is definitely South Okanagan. Probably Oliver, the Oliver area. Can't wait to dig a little deeper from the source of fruits. But this is definitely, and it's just popped and pour. I popped the wine. I popped the cork at what 5 minutes before 5, just so you know.
So an hour ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Some of these wines, have we tasted them before that we're featuring with Time next week? Because some of them are kind of like library or older, right?
Oh, yeah. And this is a little bit more old world, that Chronos Syrah. There's earthiness in there. It's not a fruit bomb at all. It's a little bit more old world style to my opinion. It's dusty style, a little bit like more of the Rhone style. Yeah, I like that.
It's definitely enjoyable.
Oh yeah, definitely. And can you feel like that torrefaction, that little like.
It reminds me of like a cold brew coffee or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. To me, that espresso, cold espresso coffee. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. There's some wet leaves in there as well, like that earthiness, stony, like a little stony, like that dustiness. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely 91 points. Definitely. I love the profile. I can't wait. I want to have that open tonight. We'll see how it goes tomorrow to finalize my score. But yeah, this is a 91 points. I like that.
Very nice.
Yeah. And we have a little $20 Syrah Rosé going with that feature as well. So it'll be interesting to try to taste this one as well. So yeah, that's for next week. So a really cool Syrah feature next week. But this week, Monte Creek from Kamloops, BC. So that's our feature of the week. All wines under $30. All 90 plus points, like really highly awarded, like high scores from multiple national competition and also international. So yeah, fun a feature. And it's also because people kept asking about Monte Creek. I wasn't sure, but people kept asking for like over a year and a half now. Are you ever going to do another feature with Monte Creek? And like people were asking over and over again. So we're like, okay, well, I guess we should do it. And here we are. Here we are.
And for a while there, they were not shipping to Alberta, so we were ready to pull up our car up to the winery and pick up any wines that needed to go to Alberta and send them out. But luckily, the Alberta dispute over wine is apparently relatively over at this point. They've said you can go back to doing what you were doing before. Wineries, BC wineries can ship to Alberta. They're going to work out some kind of taxation scheme. It sounds like that the wineries will have to pay some kind of taxes, which hopefully will not be something ludicrous. But it's really nice to see that they've worked out the main part of the problem. So
yeah, at least they're not the consumer are not deprived to their product that they like anymore. Like, I mean, it was such a crazy decision, and I'm glad that now there's resolution in the at the resident. Speaking about resolution. People are back at work in Ontario. Thank you, LCBO, to get back to work.
I'm glad to see that one happening again. We were in Ontario while it was happening, and it was a thing. Like, we pulled over at a couple places and they were completely cleaned out of everything on the shelves in the liquor store. So that was pretty funny to see.
That's funny. We were driving to a small, I can't remember where, but just between Ottawa and Toronto, we pulled out and in the little village, and there was that LCBO gas station with LCBO shelf where because it's a gas station, people could still purchase product there because the product was on the gas station shelf, and it was completely empty. Completely, people were just coming and just to see if they can buy booze, and then that poor little store was completely empty. And yeah, that was kind of.
Welcome to finally doing what most of the rest of the world's been doing all along, and I'm glad to see that happening in Ontario. That pretty soon there's going to be an extra, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 places where you can buy alcohol. And hopefully a lot of those are going to carry the local wines that we all love, and give them a chance to be introduced to more people. I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, I think that our steak, our potatoes, our salad is just about ready to be eaten.
I'm starving. So good call. We've been an hour in, and I mean, this is Monte Creek Win, and Dale Cadeau said thanks to introducing me to a new wine appellation that I had no idea that existed. I mean, Dale, it's worth trying that. These wines are surprisingly impressive. Like, when I use impressive as a terminology, because it is really impressive to taste the profile of these wines. They are solid. The Pinot Noir will blow your socks off. The Chardonnays are like incredible values. And yeah, give a try to the Frontenac Gris. It might change your perception on a few different things. So yeah, Monte Creek winery from Kamloops, BC, in the Thompson Valley appellation.
Here we go.
There you go.
Cheers,
and
Wednesday. Yes.
And also rosé.
Yeah, there's a what is the varietal on that one? The rosé is
Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir. That's
Pinot Noir.
That's Pinot Noir rosé. Absolutely, from Tantalus to 2023.
Oh, that's what we were tasting. Oh, but the Marquette from
Marquette rosé from Monte Creek. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 90 plus points for that rosé. But the Tantalus, holy cow! The fact that it is 3 weeks out. Like, we went on a 2-week vacation to Quebec and came back, and this thing is still going strong.
I know. Hey, that's because that's the one that was in the fridge, and I just give it a try just before the show, just for fun, and I'm like, what?
So you're telling me my family was here and we said, drink whichever wines you want from the fridge, and they didn't drink that one?
Nope.
For them.
Nope, they didn't. So okay, perfect. We'll do it tonight.
Yeah. Well, cheers, guys. Have a great evening. Happy Wine Wednesday. We'll see you all next week. If you were thinking of coming with us to the Thomas Batchelor Vineyard Tour, unprecedented tour of Thomas Batchelor's vineyards. We're going to rent a limo bus. We're going to go around to his vineyards that he sources grapes from, some of these famous Niagara vineyards. That tour is almost sold out. So I highly encourage you to reach out to us if you are hoping to save a spot, or buy your tickets on our website. And the BC Winery of the Year event, September 21st, that is also picking up steam, and we're really excited for it, especially for the back vintage tasting with the winemaker and owner, Ted Kane. Great guy, and it'll be a lot of fun to open some back vintages and hear the stories behind them. Hey, Carl?
I would be incredible. So Riverstone Winery in Oliver is our winery of the year, but also produce our #1 wine of the year with the milestone. And we're going to, so this, I mean, it's like, it would be at the level of the Pan-Canadian in terms of tasting. It will be incredible, not in terms of diversity, but in terms of how deep are we going to go in details in terms of tasting, and we're going to walk the vineyards, I have to say, because it's a progressive tasting. We're going to taste the wines in the vineyard, walking through the property. It will be really, really, really cool. So I cannot wait
Awesome. Yeah, it'll be great. So August 30th in Niagara, September 21st in BC. Sadly, Dale says, I'm in BC for the Ontario event, in Ontario for the BC event. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? This is why I keep saying, Carl, we got to give people more and more notice. So we will try to do that much better next year. And we do have tons of notice for the Pan-Canadian Masterclass 3.0. It will be on June 21st, a Saturday in June at Siouan Staff Estate Winery. We're super excited
June
for that.
21st or June 25th?
I've been saying the 21st. Let me see.
That might be. I mean, you're probably right. I mean,
yeah, the 21st. It's a Saturday, the 21st.
yeah, there you go.
This year, not conflicting with Father's Day or Mother's Day or anything like that. So it's a nice weekend to be out in wine country with like 12 wines from coast to coast that Carl has carefully chosen with winemakers. It will be epic. We know quite a few people from BC that are planning on flying out for that. And hopefully if you're close to Niagara, you will be able to join us. It'll be fabulous.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys, for Wine Wednesday. So, Mira, thank you very much. And Canadian Wine Lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, see you next week.